Will they give it? 6 seconds left. Maxey, Edgecombe, puts it up. Splash! Oh, VJ Edgecombe! This rookie is ready for the bright lights.
I'm VJ Edgecombe, and you're watching Chiney Today.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Chiney Ogwumike. Welcome to Chiney Today, and it's a very special day because it's the start of our interview series with some of the NBA's best and brightest stars. Shout out to Adidas and ABCD camp for making all of this possible. Let's go to work. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
What'd you do for your birthday?
Went to dinner, and I was at ABCD camp.
Was it a good dinner?
Oh yeah, dinner was great.
Did you have a cake?
I did have a little cake. I ain't eat the cake though.
Smart man. Smart man. He stays in hoop mode.
Yes.
You saw immediate success as a rookie, averaging 16, 5, and 4. How are you able to be so consistent from day one?
I think because I work hard. And I got a great group of guys around me. Teammates are great. Coaching staff is great. And they just let me go and hoop. So yeah.
I feel like that's an understatement. Just let me go and hoop. Because when you go and hoop, you have some of the most electric dunks. Was there a favorite dunk from last year?
Yeah, the one against the Pacers.
Good hands from Tyrese once again. Edgecombe, count it! And the foul for VJ Edgecombe. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, on Tony Bradley.
The poster, can you sort of take me through what was going through your mind as you were in attack mode?
Yeah, it was just like a little quick action, and I'm faster than him, and I knew I had a step. So I was like, he gonna either foul me or something's gonna happen. And it was both. So yeah.
You said you're faster than him. You're faster than most everyone. Maybe, I don't know if you've done a race with Tyrese. Have you guys raced to see who?
I ain't gonna lie, he's fast. He's faster than me.
Is he really? Would you tell that to his face?
No.
Okay, good.
No, never.
What is it like training and practicing alongside Tyrese?
It's great. He's a great person, actually. Very, chill, relaxed, full of energy, and he works hard. So that's another thing. I don't know if people know that about him, but he works really hard. But you can see it on the court, So yeah.
Absolutely. We can see sort of the similarities in your games, especially with like the developing of the outside shot to make sure you can keep defenses honest. What is the biggest thing that you're working on in this offseason?
Same thing you just said, shooting the ball. Obviously, I got a new team now, so I'm gonna have a lot of more looks shooting the ball, and still working off everything off the dribble also. But my main focus is shooting because now, like you said, you got to keep the defense honest. If they're honest and they can't really help, it's really just one-on-one hoops. But you know how it is. When they come down and just go get a bucket, then it's like someone got to go get a bucket, and it's gonna be one-on-one. So,
and you do that so well.
I appreciate that.
According to Shams, LeBron James has made his decision. He is headed to the Philadelphia 76ers on a 2-year veteran minimum $8 million deal. His agent, Rich Paul, told ESPN.
Let's dive into this new team.
New team.
Were you a part of the LeBron pitch at all?
See, I don't know. I ain't know LeBron. Like, I love LeBron, don't get me wrong. I just never, I met him. Obviously, we played against each other. Obviously, that's who I, looked up to when it comes to basketball and stuff like that. That's one of the reasons why I started playing ball when he was in Miami. But I ain't know him. But I keep calling Tyrese, and I was like, are we getting Brown? Are we getting Brown? And Tyrese is like, bro, I don't know. I don't think so. But he knew the whole time, but he ain't want to tell me. That's what I feel. I might be wrong.
But something so serious, you got to keep it.
Exactly.
Keep it close.
Because you don't want to jinx it also.
Correct.
Brown could have been like, never mind, I'm going to go, somewhere else. But Reese ain't told me.
Are you mad at him for not telling you? Or you forgive him?
I forgive him because he did a really good job in pitching. So
clearly.
I forgive him.
Clearly. Where were you when you heard the news? I
was on the court mid-workout. So I'm literally working out. Coach, his Apple Watch keep going off and off and off. He's like, damn, what's happening? And then, he's like, we just got Brian. I'm like, you're lying. Equipment guys came out, medical guy came out. We just got Brian. So I stopped working out, went to my phone. I seen Shams tweeted we got bronze. I'm like, oh, okay. So I finished my workout, and then I went back to.
Real hooper, finished the workout, didn't get distracted from one of the biggest news that ever happened.
Exactly, had to finish the workout. So yeah.
That's amazing. What are you excited to do when you have him as a teammate? Like, what is this? How does this change the landscape of your team?
I mean, obviously, it's LeBron. We also got Jaylen Brown. That people is forgetting now. You know that we got, even though we got Brown, it's like we also got an MVP candidate. Also, obviously, the landscape of our team is different now. We got 4 All-Stars, but hopefully 5 one day, you know, and all this will be, you know, on the floor at the same time. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. But for me, you know, I'm just happy to learn. I'm going to just ask Bron so many questions. I asked JB so many questions. I already asked Reese and Joel a lot of questions. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, they get it.
Are they tired of you?
I know they get it. Joel don't even pick up my phone calls as much. He will return it, but he don't like to pick up my phone call.
It's tough love.
It is. I can bank on Reese answer the phone. But I say I'm just happy to go learn. Like I say, to me, the greatest player of all time, I'm playing alongside. You know, I'm just trying to see anything I can learn, just get any bits and pieces. So yeah.
And speaking of Jaylen Brown, what did you take from the battles you had in the postseason that excites you for this upcoming season?
Nah, I mean, obviously he was great. He was great all year. I think if we've seen him, I think I played him almost like 10, 11 times this season. So it was great to play against him. He's a hooper. He's a two-way player also, arguably the best two-way player in the NBA. So I say I'm happy. I'm happy.
They are a team that's ready to win right now.
They're probably going to be favored on paper, but man, the Eastern Conference has got a lot better.
And make no mistake about it, the Philadelphia 76ers are one of the top 2 teams, if not the top team in the Eastern Conference right now.
So what would you say is the ultimate expectation for the squad?
Championship, it's a championship or a bust. You know how it is. Especially with a team like this, it's like it's either a championship or they suck, and proving everyone that's saying we ain't gonna gel or nothing like that. So, but I know I'm playing alongside great players. Nobody has egos. We've all been in communication, stuff like that. So I'm really happy. Especially
you. Anytime we get to watch you, you're always smiling, so joyful. And I feel like you just are celebrating the opportunity to play basketball at the highest level. I know part of that is your Bahamian roots. How does your heritage sort of keep you motivated every time you step on the floor?
First of all, I got a lot of people cheering me on from back home every night. Also, just how I was raised, tough days on the parks and stuff like that. So I think that kind of like what helps me. Then obviously my family, that keeps me grounded. Make sure I stay humble at all times. But yeah, like I say now, I'm just excited to go. I just love playing basketball. That's another thing. Like that's why I'm always smiling. If I'm not smiling, I'm not having a good day. So I try to just stay grateful at all times. And my high school coach used to tell me you can't be stressed and grateful at the same time. So I just try to stay grateful at all times. I'm playing basketball, something I love doing. Ain't like it's like stressing me out. Like I love playing basketball. So that's what helps me.
And we can feel it. Yeah. Your energy is contagious, not just for your team, but for us. You're a joy to cover.
I appreciate that.
Could you, in your own words, describe your game?
My game? Two-way. I just think I'm very versatile. I'm a two-way. I can pass the rock. I think that's underrated part of my game is that I can really pass. I kind of see things before it happens. But it also comes just watching a lot of basketball. So I'm a two-way player.
Oh, we know that. We saw them blocks.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can guard. I can rebound. I can score. Whatever you need me to do, I can do. So yeah.
Why is it important to show up at ABCD camp and inspire the next generation?
For me, I always want to give back or just help anyone I can. If it's basketball or not, I always want to help. And I just think that's just part of life. So that's why we're here on earth, to help each other and be generous. I always want to be generous to people. Now it's younger people. Some obviously I don't want to call them kids, but they kids. But I'm also
because you're not that much older than them.
Exactly, I'm not that much older than them. So I say if I can go in there and teach them something, or they ask questions, or just interact with them, I know I go a long ways, because I'm pretty sure we're going to see a few of them in the NBA. Hopefully, like I said, I just hope all of them make it. But we know how it is.
Yeah.
So a few of them will definitely. Hopefully, most of them are in the NBA. And I say to say that we was at the camp, and they're only 2-3 years younger than me, 4 years younger than me. So I will hopefully be in my prime, and they're coming in.
You're already in your prime. You're entering your prime. Okay, I told you what those numbers were. Okay, before you go, what is something that people don't know about you, BJ?
I'm chill.
I feel like we knew that.
Outside of basketball, I just like to, I like the water. I like to go in the water.
I mean, that's part of your DNA.
Yeah, exactly. So I just like.
Do you surf? Do you wakeboard? I don't know what the words are, but.
I see surfing in the Bahamas ain't a thing, because we don't got no
waves. Yeah.
And the water flat. But I like to fish. Yeah, I like to fish. I surf. I don't know surf. Yeah. I ain't never surfed a day in my life.
Me neither.
I never surfed.
Fishing works.
Fishing works. Yeah, I like the water.
Okay,
and
good.
I like to spend time.
Good.
I like to interact with people. So.
Good. We can tell. VJ, appreciate you, man. You're the best. VJ Edgecombe is a special talent in the NBA, and to break down all the behind the scenes and in-betweens in Philadelphia is my sister from another mister, Ramona Shelburne. Now, before we dive into Philly, the Philly special, I was just scrolling Instagram, and I saw you. Momo, you have hops.
I know. That was maybe 25. No, let's just think how many, 30 years ago?
We don't have to put a number to it.
But yeah, that's me. I must have made a good catch. Look, do you like the visor? Do that. Show that again. Do you see the visor?
The visor is great. It's a photo of Ramona playing softball. Where is this from?
I'm the one facing us. Probably some summer softball tournament when I was on Stealth. And the mom of the player that I'm jumping with, she just sent it to me on Facebook, and I was like, whoa, I've never seen that photo before. And I was like, I still got hops-ish, but maybe not like that.
You know who has more hops than you? VJ Edgecombe, Ramona, okay?
Oh, yeah, he does.
There is so much change happening in Philly. I know the headliner is LeBron, but how has VJ Edgecombe really become the darling of the city?
Can I tell you, I've talked to so many people in Philly who think VJ Edgecombe could be the guy there. Like, he showed so much as a rookie, but he has so much more to show, to go. He has got the ability to be that number one guy, to be the face of a franchise. Somebody who was, let's just say, close to a couple of the players on that team, I called him and I go, how's this going to work? And he goes, 5 basketballs. We're going to have 5 basketballs. that's, I don't know how, that's Nick Nurse's job. Maybe there'll be some staggering. Maybe there'll be the fundamental question, to me at least, is everyone on that team bought in and willing to sacrifice? Because if they are, it's the best team in the league. But if there is some ego here, if there are people worried about how this is going to affect their contract, if there are people who are going to worry about, hey, I'm probably averaging a career low in shot attempts or usage rate or even scoring because of how much talent is around them, it's going to take a while.
Yeah, it might take a while, but you mentioned a number of players have to be bought in. I think the only person who didn't choose to come is Jaylen Brown. And it's interesting because Jaylen Brown, he's not a guy that's shy. His feelings are always known. I mean, he live streams on Twitch. He's on social media challenging people one-on-one. He was at Donovan Mitchell's wedding. He seems wait, let me call a timeout. Was this the weekend of weddings in the NBA? Did they, last week in July? Seems like it's the time, because it was Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Halliburton, and I think also Kevon Looney.
Yeah. So you know why? Is because this is when you're going to be off, right? So my wedding anniversary is August 22nd, because when you schedule your wedding a year or two out, you're like, well, when am I going to be off? And there's no finals. There's probably not Olympics then. There's probably not international basketball. So it's either, kind of this period between end of July through August where it's just wedding season in the NBA. Everybody gets married during this time.
Yeah, everyone does get married. Tyrese, I think, had 50 Cent. 50 Cent was at his wedding.
I love it.
Donovan Mitchell, Coco Jones, clearly, I mean, the godparents of the relationship, Russell Wilson and Sierra, of course, enjoying the festivities. Did you catch that now viral meme of Jalen Brunson standing in the, like, just almost
like that?
like,
Was he like
the hitch 1-2 step? It was so
that is going to be
cute.
the meme of the year next year. That is never going to get old today.
Congratulations to all of the happy, beautiful couples. It was great to see. It's been fun to see them be regular people in the sense that they get to celebrate just being able to be and exist and have fun and celebrate one another. But as we get back to one of the attendees of Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, as I said, his feelings are always known. He seems like this transition, he's at peace with it. Where do things stand for Jaylen Brown in Philly?
I think he has to be at peace with it. Like, he has no other recourse at this point. He's under contract for a couple more years. Now, he was due for a contract extension, right? Like, if Boston was going to try to make him feel better, they could have thrown an extension at him. I think everyone's just going to have to play this out. Joel Embiid is going to have to play this out. Jaylen Brown's going to have to play this out. Everybody who's kind of that, and I think that's why they'll all buy in, because every single guy in this equation has something to prove. Like Joel Embiid, this is arguably the most important year of his career. This is it. I mean, as somebody told me when I wrote a story about this initially, the process is over. This is the product. Okay, he's on the wrong side of 30 now. His knees are healthy relatively, okay, or at least he's got them under control in terms of how he's been managing them for now. But you got LeBron James there. You have Jaylen Brown there, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe. This is a team that is ready to win. And if they don't win this year, that's a very expensive team. And I think it's not going to stay together. Plus, they start to have some flexibility with the two big contracts on this team, and Embiid and Jaylen Brown after this year. So there's a lot of pressure on these guys. And I think everybody chose it except for Jaylen Brown. But knowing him the way I do, I think he's the kind of guy who's going to lean in. Like I'm going to call Laird Hamilton and see what kind of training they're doing underwater right now. Like he's the kind of guy who's just going to say like, okay, like I just watched the Odyssey, so I don't know, everything keeps coming into my head. Like,
no spoilers. I haven't watched it yet.
I mean, it's 3,000 years old, Chiney. Like, you know how it ends,
right? The film. But yes, but
okay,
no, yes.
But like, okay, Odysseus right now, if Jaylen Brown is Odysseus, like he's just now encountered the Cyclops, okay? And he's still got to beat the Giants, and he's still got to deal with Circe, and he's still got to deal with a lot of other things, because like his way home, his way back to where he's going just got a lot more complicated. And he seems like a guy who will embrace that, but we don't know until we see it. I do notice this. I'm on the socials too. He and LeBron have been having a lot of Instagram stories that like post simultaneously
Mirrors,
and say the same thing. Have you noticed that?
Oh yeah, I've noticed it.
Like they're in sync, And I will say this is just for you and your show and people who watch this idea that Jaylen Brown has any beef with Joel Embiid. Absolutely not. They have been in touch this summer. I can tell you that 100%. They've been texting, talking, like they're good. Like I know Jaylen said the thing about Joel flopping and all that. If Joel has, that's fine. He also said Joel was the person who changed the series around. Okay. And if you really listen to what he said, I don't think there's any harm done, no harm, no foul. And if anything, they're embracing this challenge together. Because I know they've been in touch.
Yeah, you look at each player, particularly probably the starters, they are highly motivated. Tyrese Maxey, he, as Joel Embiid dubbed him a couple years ago, is the franchise. VJ Edgecombe, all right, he's going to show that he's not waiting to take the reins. He's going to be that guy that will continue to grow. LeBron James made a bold choice and came to Philly. He'll want to back it up. Jaylen Brown got traded, but was also, number 6 in MVP voting. He was second team All-NBA. He was an all-star. He wants to prove, hey, this is what you're missing. And Joel Embiid, I love that you mentioned him because I feel like he's getting the least conversation, maybe because we don't know per se with his health how much he can give. But I saw that there was a quote. It was 2 words, I'm healthy. And if he's healthy, and in my eyes, the Philadelphia 76ers will want to just manage. I know we're allergic to the term. I know we don't like load management. But in a case as severe as Joel Embiid, when it comes to his knees, his health, his durability, if he can play 40 games, or 50 games, I don't know what that exact threshold should be. He's already won MVP. If he can play 40, 50 games, backload them to the second half of the season, feel good going into the playoffs, and can be sustained for 2 months in the playoffs, I know the Sixers will feel probably pretty good about that. But we're not going to gloss over the fact that you dropped a bar. I don't know who the source was. The process is over. It's now time for the product. Ramona, that was a bar.
That's pretty good.
That was a bar.
Yeah. It was not mine. It was from an NBA coach that I talked to when I was writing it. And I was like, oh, I wish I would have thought of that line. I'm just going to use it. That's great.
The process is over. It's time for the product. The product's on the floor. I'm excited for it. Now, in all of our many different articles, think pieces, breaking down the tape, seeing how this Philadelphia team will work, there were also a couple of reports that were unique because everyone's wondering, what is LeBron James' life going to be like in Philly? He is going from coast to coast, right? And some reports have suggested that LeBron James may actually not live in Philly. He might live in New York City and commute to, I think, the Xfinity Mobile Arena in Philadelphia, potentially via helicopter. I know stars in the NBA at times choose this modality, but do you think that this affects maybe being acclimated to Philly in the early stages?
I worry more about the message it sends to Philly fans and how they're going to take that. I know Philly. I've spent a lot of time there. They don't think of themselves as a place that you want to commute to from New York, right? Like New York is like the big brother,
Let's go.
Right? Like it's a little bit of an insult, and I think people there will probably be fine with it because he chose to play for the Sixers, right?
Clearly, Ramona, you've got all the right sources and all the right friends. Okay. So yeah, I want to get to that private park. Cause if you live in that building, you probably get access to the one or two private parks in New York
it's
City.
Not Gramercy Park. That's where Wemby went walking around. Yeah. So Gramercy Park, I did a little deep dive on that during the finals.
I know you did.
Right? It's interesting to think about, how did he get that key? My bet is on the hotel that's opening up there because there's probably more people. It's not open yet, but there's more people who have access to that kind of key that maybe his manager or assistant. He's got good agents, Buna Njai, right, and Jeremy Majana. I'm sure they got some connections in the hospitality. That's just my guess of how he got that key. People in New York were not happy about that because that is a place that, if you want to have your wedding there, let's say Taylor Swift was like, I want to get married in Gramercy Park. The answer would be no.
Wow.
That's how hard it is to get into. They do not have events there.
My follow-up is, if LeBron James is living in New York, do you think they would just give him a key? I feel like he is the exception.
No.
Well, I don't know.
Only if he buys a place.
If they're saying no to Taylor Swift, they're going to say no to LeBron.
Apartments, or is a member of the Gramercy Park Club, or gets a hotel there. There's only a couple hundred of keys that go to that park, and you can't trade them. And if you give your key to somebody and you're not supposed to, and you get found out, they take your key.
See, this is why we love Ramona. This is the real deep journalism. And this is what Philly fans will clip off and say, see, LeBron, we'll give you your part. Come on down. Yeah. You'll get your own entire whole radius, not just a small little New York park.
My guess is he'll get either an apartment there or someplace that he goes when he stays over. Because there's going to be a lot of days where you're going to practice, or you're going to have a game late at night. You're going to have another, a back-to-back or whatever. He's not going to go back and forth every time.
Yeah, players stay downtown near crypto.
There's a Ritz down there that's nice. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Okay, enough with LeBron Zillow. He made the decision. He's going to stand by it. However he makes it work, he's going to do what he's going to do on the court. We love that for LeBron, and we're really grateful for VJ Edgecombe for stopping by and chatting with us. Really cool to see the landscape of the NBA sort of change. The East, it's an arms race now. You have Kawhi in the North, pending. You have Giannis in South Beach. JB, I know, pending forever. Who knows how long. Things are spicy in the Eastern Conference, and Philly, I think, is at the top of the list when it comes to game changers, and we'll see how they all mesh together. Now, Ramona, there was another trade that made headlines recently. Let's head over to the WNBA because the Los Angeles Sparks traded 5-time All-Star Kelsey Plum to the Phoenix Mercury for Monique Okoa-Makani, a 2027 first-round pick, and a 2028 second-rounder. Now, for some context as we break this down, whenever a player who is on an expiring deal maybe hints that they will likely not re-sign, the front office is going to go to work because they have to go and get value, especially when there's a hypersensitivity to situations like this, considering that the Los Angeles Sparks have seen Candace Parker, they've seen Chelsea Gray, they've seen Big Sis Nneka Ogwumike walk away due to free agency. So there was an urgency to get a deal done. Now, I don't know if we had Phoenix on our bingo card. There were a lot of teams that were rumored out there, but now the Los Angeles Sparks have 2 lottery picks in the 2027 draft that potentially includes Juju Watkins, Hannah Hidalgo, and Madison Booker. And on the other side, the Phoenix Mercury now have a core that knows each other pretty well from the U.S. Olympics, from the Olympic roster, and Alyssa Thomas, Kalia Copper, and Kelsey Plum. It's also important to note that Kendra Andrews reported that Kelsey Plum still will experience free agency after this season. So there's a lot to weigh. Ramona, I know you've been following this trade very, very closely. What more insight do you have to why the Sparks did what they did, and also what this signals for the franchise moving forward?
It's not just that she was going to resign, that she wasn't going to resign. Okay, she's 31, she'll be 32. I think this was just a recognition on everybody's side that probably the group they had this year was just not good enough. I mean, I just watched the game between Indiana and Minnesota today, and those two teams, whoo!
Yeah, haymakers.
Wow. Remember when people thought Minnesota lost a lot in free agency? Oh, wow, they lost a lot. They lost a lot of their depth.
Jess Shepard, Amanda Smith, yeah.
But did we know Olivia Miles was going to be this good? Did we know? I didn't. I thought she'd be pretty good, but wow. So if you're the Sparks and you look around at what's right in front of you, they were 2-9 when Kelsey was out with her lower leg injury, right? She missed the last 11 games. They went 2-9. They kind of are not going to make the playoffs most likely. It's a real disappointment after the offseason they had. I know, getting Nneka back was kind of a signal hey, we think we can do something this year. We think, you're not going to just bring Nneka back if you're going to be a rebuilding team, right? And I think this is a disappointment. Some of this is injury fueled. Some of this, I think, is a recognition that they want to play like Ray Burrell. They want to play Cameron Brink more. They want to play some of their young players and see what they really have. But number one with a bullet, I want to go back to what the actual trade is. They got a 2027 first round pick. There's just more shot at getting Juju. This is Juju Watkins. If she comes out now, there's a big if, right? I think she's going to come out, but let's just see what happens when we play the season, right? There's the new rule, 5 and 5, 5 for 5, something like that. There's this new rule that I think a lot of people are going to take advantage of, where you can stay in college an extra year. I think Juju comes out, but it might depend on who has the pick. It looks like it's going to be Connecticut/Houston because it's 2-year weighted. Okay. But let's just see how the lottery balls fall because Phoenix right now is on the outside looking in.
Let's break down why they might be on the outside looking in because they're 6 games back of making the playoffs. You make a trade to get Kelsey Plum, who is phenomenal when she was playing number 2 in scoring at 26 points per game. She was up there. But Kendra Andrews also reported that Kelsey Plum will still experience free agency after the season. So it's not a guarantee that she will re-sign with the Phoenix Mercury. And so this is an experiment to see if they can capture whatever else is left of that competitive edge that they found that got them to the finals. But now they struggled after losing Satu. Now you add Kelsey Plum. It's not a guarantee, even though it is a good core that has familiarity. This is a group of 3, Kalia Copper, Alyssa Thomas, and Kelsey Plum, that all won gold medals at the Olympics. But what we're seeing in the WNBA is you need depth. You need either some super heroic type of player that can carry you through like we've seen the last few years with Asia Wilson winning championships, or you need depth. 3 is not necessarily enough to sustain. You have to have a balanced roster. And so that's why I think people might look and be like, oh, Plum, this is fantastic. But then it's hold on, it's reported that this may not be a sure bet. We're just re-racking the roster next year.
I think this is Phoenix recognizing they've got to do something to keep Alyssa Thomas happy. Okay. This is a hell of a player and you got to get her some help.
Leading the league in assists.
And this is a team that was right there last year. You know, like you lose Satu, but that shouldn't be the reason that you've fallen this far off. And I think it's a recognition. Plus, I actually think Plum is a draw for some of the other free agents that are out there. I do think there's a pretty good chance that she would resign in Phoenix. But again, why not experience free agency? Everybody went through that whole CBA, all of that to get to this point. Nafisa Collier is going to be a free agent. Kelsey Plum is going to be a free agent. There's a lot of player movement. There wasn't that much player movement this year, but there's going to be a lot next year. And everybody's lining up. I don't think Nafisa Collier goes anywhere based off of how good Minnesota is, but let's see how the playoffs go. What if they lose in the first round?
And I think, on the other side, I know we focus on Phoenix, because everyone's sort of trying to understand how both teams sort of have settled after this trade. Los Angeles, I think it's important to note that this is a time of transition. A lot of personnel in the front office, are changing. Ownership is a lot of new faces involved, new facility, which I've seen the deck for. It just feels like this is maybe 3 years too late, 2 years too late to sort of keep some of the talent that they had happy. But now, because of it, now they're starting back at, from square one, despite having to still play the rest of the season.
They were committed to the tank. They were committed to the rebuild in the tank. And then they kind of lost their nerve for it, and they decided they wanted to be good again. And I don't know if that's because the new facility's opening up or just ownership started getting more involved, because I would describe this from the Sparks. Like, I've covered them for years. You played for them, obviously. I think within the last 2-3 years, there has been a recognition of how good the WNBA is as a league and how much they want to be involved. And it's kind of sad to me it took this long, right? The Mark Walter and the Guggenheim Group and Walter Sports Group, they've owned the team for a long time. They kept the Sparks from moving up to the Bay Area way back when, which is kind of an interesting sliding doors moment now when we look at the Valkyries. But that's where the Sparks were going to go when Mark Walter stepped in to buy them, to keep them in LA, to keep LA with the team. And they bought them, but they didn't really invest in them. That's why all those players left. There was a sort, and not just invest in a training facility or anything, but in terms of hiring, in terms of staffing up, like people in the teams in the W, they're being run with real precision now. Like, you're getting professionals in there who, this is what they do. This isn't like a job where you were a coach and now you're a GM and you played and now you transition to like, people are in front offices and they work their way up the same way they do in the NBA. Like, you're getting real quality in terms of executives and coaching and staffing all throughout the league now. And the Sparks have been late to the game.
Exactly. And that's why I was saying the 3-year curve could have maybe kept someone like potentially a Rickea Jackson in LA. If they understood the vision, they understood the investment that's happening that we're seeing right now. But I think that's what I was alluding to, with like a lot of changing faces, a lot of people with new, how do you say this? Like a lot of people with new passion and fervor to actually not only build a team that can be good, but also build a business that reflects the standards of Los Angeles. We've seen with the Dodgers, we've seen with the Lakers. And I think a good way to put this into context when we were talking about post All-Star Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner, is I saw that when Kathy took the job as the first ever commissioner in the WNBA, the league only had 12 full-time employees, and now there's over 80 full-time employees. And so if this was a couple years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, happening at the highest level, which is supposed to spearhead and lead and be the face, it's been a learning curve for the teams to sort of build that infrastructure themselves. And it seems like right now, as someone who's been very privy to the goings-ons, like that infrastructure is being built in LA, and it feels like they're kind of embracing that rebuild, remodel, let's do this from the ground up. And that is what the Kelsey Plum trade represents.
But I will say this, it's a little chicken and the egg. Did the Sparks wake up and say, we want to trade Kelsey Plum? Or did they decide to trade Kelsey Plum because Kelsey Plum was not happy in LA and let it be known she wasn't going to stay? I would say the latter. I would say they were probably fine continuing to build around her if she would have been happy. But, Chiney, when a player's not happy, right? Like, you know it in the training room, you know it on the bench, you know it just how they are, what they're saying to people. Like, it was not a secret. And I think at the age she is, 31, right? Like that's right at the back end of your prime. Like you got a couple more cracks at this, you know, and this is a player who's won championships before, who's, you know, been there with Vegas and had wanted, she re-signed with LA believing in this vision, but it clearly wasn't coming together this year for the Sparks.
Yeah, there are a number of teams that have star players that, you know, especially in this very unique time where there's short deals and there's a lot of money, that they believed in the vision of a franchise, and it may not be on the timeline that they want, and it might just be the situation. But best of luck to both sides. Both Phoenix and LA got lots of work to do up the standings, but at least maybe we can see a little bit more of their identities. Phoenix trying to still compete quickly, and LA now trying to embrace the future and maybe get a little lucky in the lottery. But we're always lucky when we have Ramona Shelburne here to break things down. And FYI, I have to give her a huge pat on the back, a huge salute, because we are recording this at 1 a.m. Eastern time, at 10 p.m. Pacific time. And I called her on a dime because I had a crazy schedule conflict, and my girl always shows up for me. Ramona is one of the best people I know. She is family. She's a sister to me. And I just want the streets to know how you are like a ride or die chick.